Hey, what's going on, everybody? Paul Esden Jr. here for Heavy.com. We've got a very special episode of Boy Green.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas. Boy Green Daily starts now. Zoinks!
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Let's go!
Dewey Mama.
Put your seatbelts on. Get ready for the ride. We're the freaking New York Jets. We're built for this shit.
What's going on, everybody? This is Paul Esden Jr., aka Boy Green, the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Show also available wherever you get your podcast. We're currently at a hotel. Well, we've had to move locations a few times. Thought I was going to do it from the room. Everyone was still sleeping outside my door. There was a nice businessman in there. It was just me and him, but he was like, I don't think this one's going to work out. So then I'm like, let me go out to the pool. And then the Wi-Fi did not reach the pool. It was locked. So then ultimately we came back out here to the breakfast area, and here we are. So I normally am. That is the reason for it. But thank you guys so much. Sure. Yeah. NY Jets fandom. It's Paul. And people are telling me that the Wi-Fi sucks immediately. Well, folks, I apologize. This is passable. If it isn't, please let me know in the comments section. Yes, a lot of Wi-Fi. It is apparently not reaching this couch either. So I'm so. If people are saying to use my phone, all right. Well, I guess we can attempt that method. Hang on tight, folks. We'll try to circumvent this as quickly as possible. We're currently having here on the show. Yeah, we'll see if we can correct. We will see if we can fix that. So apologies for all kinds of issues that are happening. We will see if we can correct those here on the program. So I do apologize. I will play a brief break, and we'll try to get back to you guys as quickly as possible. So we'll be back after this.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. Jets, Jets. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. You're talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. Jets. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. Jets. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. You're talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. Jets, Jets, Jets. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. Jets, Jets. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. You're talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. Jets. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. Jets. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. You're talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. Jets. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. Jets. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. You're talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. Jets. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. Jets. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. You're talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. Jets. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking just football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. The New York Jets Football Club. Wow. Offense, defense, special teams. Watch the Super Bowl season with Boy Green. Jets. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Viking Daily.
All right, everybody. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Hopefully this is working much better. Let me know. We're operating in a very weird world here with the comment section. Please let me know, you guys know if this is any better. If it is, apologies for all the Wi-Fi issues that are happening here. All right, everyone says good. So, all right, let's reset that. Let's pretend the first 10 minutes, I guess, didn't just happen. Hey, everybody, I'm Paul Liston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green, the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Everyone says it's better. So, again, so sorry for all the technical difficulties and all the weird stuff we have to do for this, but I can't see your comments. I'm combining laptop and phone powers here to pull it all together here. So thank you, guys, and thank you to the 200 people in the room that are watching right now. I am live, not actually at Jets training camp. I'm here in Florham Park covering all things New York Jets, and this is exciting, really fun. It was so cool to be there. I'll try to go over a bunch of notes that I had from camp and things of that nature. Again, I think the biggest takeaway is Mason Taylor, and I just don't think we're talking enough about it. I just wrote an article about it this morning. Mason Taylor last week, and there's an article in the YouTube description down below. Last week, Mason Taylor was announced to have a high ankle sprain from head coach Aaron Glenn. And, you know, there's a lot of things about high ankle sprains. I was looking it up and seeing what the medical opinions are on that from doctors for NFL people. And to be honest with you, they say it takes 6 to 8 weeks. And so last week, right? So Mason Taylor has an high ankle sprain. ESPN's Rich Cimini says that he's going to be out indefinitely. And I don't blame Rich for that take. I mean, it is what it is. So, you know, that's what the high ankle sprain was supposed to be. In less than a week, Mason Taylor rose from the ashes and, you know, was at practice yesterday, full participant, was in on 7-on-7s, was in on 11-on-11s. He was fully engaged, fully involved, no extra tape, no extra padding or anything on that ankle. And Mason Taylor looked awesome. Splash plays, was dominating in the Jets-Giants joint practice. And that is just massive news for the New York Jets, because if you look at this offense, they've got Garrett Wilson, and we all know he's spectacular. But who's going to be second on the team in targets? Who's going to be third on the team in targets? The answers right now, gun to my head, to those two are Mason Taylor and Breece Hall. Those are going to be the ones that are number 2 and number 3, respectively, in targets on the team. And if Mason would have been out with this high ankle sprain, he would have been missing valuable camp time, valuable practice time, valuable preseason time, and time to build chemistry with this quarterback, Justin Fields. So this was critically important to put all the pieces together. And thank goodness his injury was not as serious as it was reported. And again, Aaron Glenn's the one who said it was a high ankle sprain. So I don't know what happened or what changed, but thank the heavens if this is the fastest recovery time in history for a high ankle sprain. So Mason Taylor looked awesome. I also got to see him after practice. He came over to this VIP area I was in, and he didn't look like he was limping or anything from that nature of dealing with anything. So that was incredibly encouraging. Mason Taylor looks great. Jet fans, that should be perhaps the biggest takeaway from Jets-Giants joint practice yesterday. That's what I would say, personally, for me. So Mason Taylor was a big one. I would also say this, the way the Jets were using Breece Hall. Now, as a runner, he was sort of getting stuffed around, but that was the case for most of the Jets running backs yesterday. The Giants' defensive line is nasty. They have Abdul Carter. They have Brian Burns. They have Dexter Lawrence. And, of course, they have Kayvon Thibodeau. That line is perhaps the best defensive line in football, or one of the best defensive lines in football. So there's no shame that the Jets were having a few struggles with running the football consistently from that standpoint. But I would just add on to say that when they used him strictly as a wide receiver, they did a couple of empty sets where Breece Hall was lined up on the far left, and then you had 4 other wide receivers, empty set, which means no one else was in the backfield, Justin Fields. And you had 4 of the receivers just run verts to draw attention away, and then Breece hit him with the one-step slant cut underneath, allow him to sort of get the ball moving. Fields hits him in stride, and then he cuts it up for a big gain in the Jets-Giants joint practice. So that was incredibly encouraging. And we've seen some of this in the past, so it's just good to know that, unlike Nathaniel Hackett, this Jets coaching staff is fully aware that Breece Hall can catch a football out of the backfield. Aaron Glenn has said it at press conferences. We've heard that as well from Tanner Engstrand, and I see you guys are talking about Tanner Engstrand, so let's do it. I'll bring up the photo that everyone seems to think is a good old funny time with old boy Green apparently being shorter than any of you think. You guys will be able to bring your measuring sticks together when we're all together, obviously, for the Jets-Cowboys game. So I'm very much looking forward to that. I will put up the photo here on the screen of me and old Tanner Engstrand together. It was cool. I'll give again another shout out here to Lou B, the Super Jets fan. He's the reason why I got to meet Tanner Engstrand after practice. So really cool shout out there. Here it is. I'm going to throw it up here on the screen so you guys can see it. This is going to be me and Tanner Engstrand here. As you're seeing it on the screen now, that is me and Tanner Engstrand after practice in a VIP area, and we had to have a one-on-one chat. And I will tell you this was super cool. Lou B introduced me to Tanner Engstrand, and he dapped it up and was like, hey, this is Paulson Jr., Boy Green, and he does this show called Boy Green Daily. And I had to pinch myself because Tanner Engstrand went, what was your show called? I'm like, Boy Green Daily. He's like, Boy Green, huh? And we were Tanner Engstrand was talking to me about Boy Green Daily, the Jets offensive coordinator. And when my friend Lou B brought up the Boy Green Daily, Tanner said, oh man, I'm sorry, I haven't gotten a chance to see the show. I've sort of been in the lab all plugged in over here, which by the way, I went, no worries, no offense taken or anything. Let's worry about, Justin Fields and cooking up plays and stuff. So that was awesome. So it was cool to meet Tanner Engstrand and apparently show all of you guys that I am a human gnome, real life human gnome here. I got that one coming up, so that was cool. I see For Lily says, bring him on the show. I would love to bring Tanner on the show. It'll probably be for a lot of these coaches. That sort of stuff sort of happens during the off season. That's your chance when there's these big gaps of time. Like for instance, I know you guys don't like Nate Hackett, neither do I, but he joined the Peter Schrager podcast a couple of years ago. And when they had the big gap of time during the offseason, he joined him for a 45-minute hour show. So it's cool to sometimes get the coaches. So, yes, that would be awesome. And, yes, that's the latest, Human Gnome. That's the latest thing. That was the most popular response to this this picture on social media was Human Gnome. And then now I see it. I'm sort of frumpy. I've got the big beard. And I look like a human gnome. So no offense taken. It was sort of funny. So I give you guys a shout out for that. So thank you kindly. Appreciate you. So you guys are getting more creative, which, you got to highlight. Alon here saying Tanner's relationship with Jim Harbaugh must have been interesting. Yes, San Diego State. Is it the Aztecs? I can't remember. It was somewhere in San Diego. It was the college at Tanner. It's escaping me live right now. But yes, it was those two together. And yes, the jokes continue to pour in. Sadly, I can't ride Space Mountain. That's true. I need a parent to accompany me. I do have a booster seat. Again, everyone just sees this photo and they assume that it just means I'm short, which could be true. But what if Tanner's just freakishly tall? Maybe when you guys Google Tanner Engstrand height, maybe it's just not as tall as you guys think it is. Maybe there's a lie on the internet. Maybe the internet lied. Maybe that's what's happening here. That could be possible. Unlikely, but still could be possible. So shout out to Tanner Engstrand. That was cool. And I got to do some of my notes and quotes with James Woody yesterday. We did Boy Green Meets Woody. And I got to sort of empty the notebook a little. But a couple of things I didn't get a chance to empty the notebook on was I got to meet Garrett Wilson. He signed my jersey. I'll put that out on social media over the coming days. We've got Jetstein joint practice today and bigger fish to fry. But I'll share some other people that I met in pictures on social media in due time. But it was cool to meet Garrett Wilson. He signed my jersey, signed my football, hung out for a little bit, and that was cool to meet him. I got to meet Arian Smith. He seems like a very nice young man, so that was great. He had another really solid practice. So it was cool. It was cool. it was cool to meet Arian. Quincy Williams I met. What a great guy. What a great guy. It was great to meet Quincy Williams as well. So awesome. And I would say, yeah, I had this big ass bag, thankfully, to throw everything in there. It was basically like a Jets duffel bag because I went to the team store and got the family hooked them all up with Jets gear, which was nice. Mark Sanchez was there. I see Scotty Mayhem saying that Mark Sanchez was there. Unfortunately, he didn't come over. He was in the sort of VIP area, but he didn't get a chance to walk down, or I would have said hey to Sanchez or even gotten an autograph or something. That would have been pretty cool. So shout out, to Mark Sanchez. He was there at practice. That was awesome. But got to meet a lot of really cool people. So that was a really good time for sure. So like I said, Garrett Wilson, Arian Smith, Quincy Williams, Al Lazard. I did pass Al Lazard. He looked very nice. And nope, that's okay. You guys can keep the jokes coming. It was very nice. Let's go to Floor Lily here real quick. He says, how much time does each guy give you? Well, like Tanner, for instance, no one was with him, and I don't think people were allowed to be with him, if I'm being frank. I think he was there for something else, but I just got to talk to him for like, I don't know, 5 minutes maybe, and I just started, we dapped it up, met him. Lou B, the Super Jets fan who won a raffle last month, I was telling him about Boyd Green Daily and stuff. We're sort of talking about that, and I just said, hey, man, like, keep cooking for Justin Fields, and, like, he said, I'm in the lab. I'm not really watching a lot of shows outside of what I have to do, and I'm like, hey, man, no worries there. Just keep doing what you're doing. So that was nice. Quickly, I'll answer this question. Vern says, was Lazard still in a sling? He was not. He was just leaning on something. I said, what's up? And we talked for a second. I didn't really spend a lot of time with Lazard, but he was not in a sling. Aaron Glenn said he's going to be out like 2 weeks, so his status for week 1 is sort of in question. We'll sort of see what happens there from that perspective, but he was not in a sling. So good news there. You guys can feel free to throw in your questions. Again, this is Boyd Green here. I'm at a hotel in Florham Park. We've been doing a lot of weird backflips to try to do this show, so apologize for all the technical difficulties. I'll definitely edit out that big first chunk of the show. I'll fix that yesterday, or I'll fix that, after the show, so you guys will get right to whatever this version is, which is great. So I appreciate it, and we'll fix that. Thank you, Cindy, for the kind words here, saying what a great opportunity for you, good for you, and us sharing all of your thoughts. Yes, thank you. It was awesome. And I'll tell you, Cindy, it was last second. It was absolute last second. It was, so yesterday, obviously, I was here. So it's the night before yesterday. So whatever today is. Today's Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday night. At 8 o'clock, I'm sitting at my house. And I live about 5 hours away from the Jets facilities. And Lou B sends an Instagram DM about, hey, do you mind, like, he came across some Jets trying to join practice tickets, but he wanted to get them in the hands of Jet fans, so he came across them, wanted to give them away. I reshared it to try to allow the other fans to go. I wasn't thinking about myself. I was just thinking about other fans as I have a frog in my throat, excuse me. Maybe too many Jet chants for me at the training camp practice. But Lou B said that to me, and I just shared it without even thinking about it for the other fans. And I said, man, Lou B, I wish I could have gone. He said, why don't you? And I started with saying it out loud in my living room with me, my fiance, and my 2 children, like, there's no way. Like, it's too late. We don't have a hotel, all this or that. And long story short, my fiance says, let's just go. Let's just pack up the kids. Let's just chase it. Let's just go make it happen. And she's amazing, and we packed up and just did it. And I guess that's advice for people out there, that sometimes you just gotta just go, and just do something, because being able to do it was a surreal experience. It's an experience I'm never going to forget for the rest of my life. So, and it would have never happened if I didn't go, obviously. So, so cool. So sometimes you just got to do it, and because I think in life, and here's a PSA that you didn't ask for, I think in life we can come up with excuses why not to do something. We can come up with excuses not to do something all the time. Like, well, there's this thing, and then there's this thing, and there's this thing. Sometimes you just got to do it. And we were able to do it. So, that was incredibly exciting. So thank you guys so much. There's more content to come, but hopefully you guys are really getting a good kick out of it. So thank you so much. Again, Tatiana is an absolute wonderful woman. I already knew she was the one, and so I asked her to marry me. And just stuff like this. She has helped me pursue my dreams and doing this show. I don't know if you guys want to see me any better, but every new camera that I've ever had, this is my travel camera, and then I have a better camera at home. Every camera has come from her. She invested in me to do this show, and she's given me cameras, microphones, everything. She's just sort of said, like, hey, do this, do this, do this, do this. And she's always pushed me to go forward, and that's really helped grow the show. So without her, this is impossible. So very cool, very cool. And I'm very lucky to have her. She is the matriarch of the Esden household. Let me answer some more of your guys' questions coming in here. People are asking about the quarterback situation real quick. So Tyrod Taylor had surgery. He's out for the entire preseason. The Jets hope he's ready for week 1. That doesn't sound great. Brady Cook had his foot stepped on in practice, and it looked bad. Yeah, he got his foot stepped on. He couldn't put weight on it. He was like hobbling around. I'm like, oh, God. Oh, Jesus. And ultimately had to be carted to the back. After practice, AG informed us it was a foot stepping on. I didn't see the initial. I just saw the reaction, like Brady recoiled, and he seemed to be in a lot of pain. So AG said that Brady Cook, he doesn't think it's going to be serious, but he'll go back and look. Hey, we overreacted or reacted, whatever, to the Justin Fields dislocated toe. So let's hope for the best on Brady Cook. And think about this, because I see a lot of Adrian Martinez love in the comment section. Brady Cook was ahead of Adrian Martinez in Jets training camp. Obviously, if you look at the preseason game, Justin Fields plays in one drive, go right down the field, and score a touchdown. Brady Cook comes in, finishes off the rest of the first half, and then in the second half, Adrian Martinez got the rest. So Brady Cook obviously has been more ahead of Martinez throughout camp, but now with this little bit of an injury, and Martinez played really well in that second half, Adrian may have a chance. I thought for sure on the 53-man roster, the Jets were only going to keep 2 quarterbacks, Justin Fields, Tyrod Taylor. But, I mean, if Tyrod is in any way compromised by the time the season starts, you can't roll out with just him, so that likely means you have to keep a third quarterback on the roster, and that could be Adrian Martinez. So he's got a great path here to be the number 3, and quite frankly, he could even be the number 2 this year. So I'm seeing people are saying James Cook. Okay, so there's a deal coming in. Let me see if we can pull this up on James Cook. All right, let me see. Let's see the full details on James Cook. It looks like he and the Bills finally figured it out. Okay, let's see. All right, Adam Schefter. A deal has been reached. 2-time Pro Bowl running back James Cook and the Bills have reached agreement on an extension per his agents. The deal includes the most guaranteed money for a running back in the last 5 years. Wow, you got a good deal. Here it is. 4-year extension, $48 million, $30 million guaranteed. Zach Hiller, who is the old agent of LAA. I did work with him during the Dalvin Cook action, his brother. So nice deal. Nice deal there for James. That's interesting. Interesting deal. So, okay, what's that? Okay, so a $12 million per year deal on the new extension. So, okay, there you go. All right, James Cook, he is good to go. All right, there you go. He is under. He is under. Appreciate that. Also, I see we had a MFC gifted membership earlier, so let's make sure we get that in, please. All right, I will keep track of that. I won't be able to update the banner in the same normal way I am, but don't worry, I'll keep it on the Excel sheet, and when I'm in a more comfortable situation, MFC, I'll make sure that I update the scrolling ticker down below with updated information from that standpoint. So we'll definitely have that on the Excel sheet, so I really appreciate it. And MMC, that is now 7 raffle tickets so far this month, so thank you very much for those coming in. I appreciate it. Thank you. My man, MFC. If any of you send along any super chats or memberships and I don't see them, please say, Paul, it was above or something, because in our unique scenario here, I don't want to miss anything as well. So please let me know if I do miss anything there from that perspective. Okay, look, I see another one coming in. Our number 1 Australian Jet fan, maybe. That is 36 raffle tickets for our number one Austrian Jet fan. Thank you very much. Again, we'll pick up the scrolling ticker in due time. It's a good question. Jets Worldwide. He asks, when does the waitress come over and ask him what wants to order? That's a good question. If I did, they've got some really great breakfast potatoes here and some good bacon and apple juice. Normally, I only put, a Mountain Dew and Gatorade and water in my body, but it's good to get some apple juice to mix it up in the morning. So we'll see if that order comes in. I will definitely order that live on the show. So let's see. You guys can do over/under on when the waitress will come over to ask that question. Yeah, Brady Cook is. He's shown some nice plays. Again, there's a reason he also went undrafted. So take that for what you will. I think Salomon says maybe Jameis or DeVito gets cut. The Giants. I don't think Jameis gets cut. I think he 100% makes the roster, but DeVito is going to get cut. I think that's a foregone conclusion. But what Tommy has to decide, and some of his family was at this Jets-Giants joint practice, is does he want to stay local? Because the Giants would, of course, give him a spot on the practice squad. But I think DeVito could be a QB2 somewhere in the league. But it may not be in the New Jersey, New York area, so he may have to do it somewhere else. That's something he's going to have to wrestle with. Would it be cool being the backup? And I'm making this up, I have no idea. The Arizona Cardinals moving halfway across the country for better money and a better opportunity. That's going to be up to Tommy to decide what's most important to him. But I think he will have a spot. On their practice squad at worst. All right. Let me keep answering your guys' questions here. We could talk some more about Jets training camp and everything in between. I did not give Tanner Engstrand a sticker. That's not my bag, baby. But hey, for those who like it, who do the sticker thing, God bless. Take care. And the short jokes continue to come in. You guys are doing a wonderful job from that perspective. Yep. That's true. For Lily, I didn't realize Tanner was 7'5". Yeah, there you go. Scotty, here's one thing. I will take short jokes. Okay, I will take short jokes because I'm short. But don't call me a tippy toer. Okay, I'm above that. I'm actually below that. I guess we're being specific, but I am not a tippy-toe guy. I embrace that I'm short. It is what it is, and people can either jump or jump off the train. Jets Worldwide, that's funny. Did Tanner say, keep my eyes are up here? He could have. He did not, but he could have. And by the way, Tanner is exactly what he is in press conferences, for better or for worse. So he was 100% there. For Lily, how much time? I don't know if I answered this earlier. Tanner gave me like 5 minutes, so way over than what he had to. Garrett was with me for maybe 3 minutes, something like that. I mean, he was in our area for like 7 minutes maybe, so I got a big chunk of his time, so that was very nice. Scotty Mayhem, all-pro linebacker, Quincy Williams, say it right, yeah, former first-team all-pro linebacker, that's 100% true. So he was great. Austrian saying new emojis coming. To be honest, which would be a funny Tanner Engstrand one to make. Maybe Snowball will cook that up. We need an unbelievable amount of like members, and I'm not questioning that you guys can't do it, but like we need. YouTube works in a funny way. You need like 300 members or something to get another emoji. So we are so far away, it's not even funny. And every day it changes, obviously, because some people that get gifted memberships don't stick around. So it's a complicated beast, that's for sure. Let's see. Yes, I'm glad Jared B brought this up, so I want to bring up this comment. Paul, I like what you said yesterday, how people don't realize that there are scenarios like 3rd and 14, and all we hear was bad play, but he could have had other wide receivers who was just a practice rep. So I think this is very important. So, right, for the most of us, we don't get a chance to go to Jets training camp practice every day. So we live through the beat reporters, we live through the tweets, we live through the shows and everything else to try to get a better understanding as Jet fans of what's going on. One of the perks, as someone who just went to Jets training camp practice yesterday, I think one of the perks for me is that you get to see context. if you watch just a play and Justin Fields throws an incompletion and it was an ugly incompletion, you could just go, boo, Justin Fields sucks. But if you look up at the scoreboard over on the left side of where we were sitting, it said 3rd and 18 or 3rd and 14. And it's a situation, which means they're playing a scenario. 3rd and long, get the first down, obviously, is the goal of the play. And so obviously Fields is not going to take something underneath because his goal on the play is to get the first down. But then things could be different. There was a 2nd and 8 scenario. There was a 1st and 10 scenario. There was a 1st and 15 penalty scenario. What do you do to make up the difference? So thank you, Jared, for bringing this back up. I just think that's very important context for sharing it with the fans, because I don't think fans realize that. They just sort of see everything in a vacuum of everything is a play that should just be a good play every time. And I think there is context there. And the other context that we don't know, and we just don't know this, they could tell Justin, hey, we want you to work on the left side of the field today. Try to get these completions. So, like, essentially ignore the right side, try to get the left side in. And then maybe he misses a wide open thing and people make fun of him, but we shouldn't have made fun of him because of this. So, anywho, thanks for highlighting that, Jared. That was a cool piece of being there that made some things happen. Yo Home saying, PG, I heard he got kicked out of a fan area by a giant security woman. I will neither confirm or deny that. Grove Pete asking, am I going to the Giants joint practice today? I am not. That would have been amazing, and I would have loved to go. I do know people over the Giants, so I probably could have made it happen. But like I said, the Jets version of it was so late in the game. If I would have known I was going to Jets, I would have set it up to go to Giants. But like I said, I'm glad that we got to the Jets one. So that's most important. Indeed, did I get to see Richie, Matt, and Ryan? So I'm pretty sure when I was waiting in one of the lines, Matt O'Leary was behind me, but by the time I turned around, we all split up, so I didn't see him. I saw a tall guy in a green shirt, which I was pretty sure was Matt O'Leary, but I didn't get a chance to say hello. When I was in the concession line, Richie was all the way at the front of it. I'm like, perfect. Like, once we all sort of figure out our business, we'll connect the dots. So I've met Matt O'Leary. I met him 2 years ago at the Hall of Fame game. That's when I met Jake Asman. I've never met Richie. I've never met Ryan from Jets Talk 24/7. Ryan, when we were all in sort of like a mosh posh of trying to get to the seating, I saw Ryan, but he was sort of darting through people, so I couldn't get his attention. So long story short, no. I got to see them, I guess. So, yes, I got to see them briefly, but we didn't get to chat or hang out or meet each other or anything. So, unfortunately, that did not happen. But I'm sure it'll happen again. Jets, Cowboys, we're going to have a lot of cool opportunities. He says, did you do the pool with your family, Paul? I did. So, after I finished Boy Green Meets Woody, I had a ton of work to do. But I said, you know what? My family did this for me. I'll figure out work later. Let's go out to the pool. So I didn't bring a bathing suit or anything. So I just sort of just dove in the pool in the clothes I had, which, was fun. I accidentally traumatized my child. I was holding her up with one hand and just sort of like holding Soraya Luna up. And then at one point, I guess it wasn't an accident. I mean, I didn't want to traumatize her on purpose, but I just sort of dropped her so she would she was wearing floaties and stuff, but she went in the water real quick, and she basically thought I waterboarded her. So that's, parenting technique 101. Do not do that, as a matter of fact. If you can avoid that, that'd be great. But I did enjoy some pool time with the family. Got a lot of time with them. We went to, there's this thing somewhere in, again, my fiance plans out all the stuff we do. There's a car wash somewhere like 30 minutes from here that is Jurassic Park or dinosaur inspired. So when you were going through, there's like moving dinosaurs, and my daughter Charlotte loves dinosaurs, and so there's like moving robotic dinosaurs all around you when you're getting your car wash. So it was pretty cool. I mean, it was a neat little experience, and that's what it's all about. Ultimately, at the end of the day, doing fun stuff like that. So yeah, it was cool. We saw this dinosaur thing. We went to I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the restaurant Cluck You. Like, it's like fuck you, but Cluck You. And wow, the food was terrific. I had tenders, fries, mashed potatoes. It was great. So Cluck You, apparently it's like a franchise or something. Very nice. Very nice. Jets Worldwide. Tanner doesn't watch Jets YouTube, really? Because we all have a lot of good ideas about what we should do with the offense. I thought it was so funny that, like, when Luby brought up that I do a show, and then, like, Tanner, like, played along, and he was like, you do a show? About what? I'm like, oh, it's the Jets every day. It's called Boy Green Daily. He went, Boy Green. And then he said what he said, like, boy, I just don't have a lot of time. I'm like working in the lab, I'm really like whatever he said, something about like being behind the four walls and only focusing on the Jet stuff. And I said, of course, but like that he seemed to indicate if he wasn't within the four walls that he would totally be watching the show. So that was hilarious. Which was very nice of him to play along there. That was very nice. I think Kev asked earlier what was the best part, and I was trying to find the comment, but he was asking what was the best part of the trip. And I mean, it was cool spending time with the family. It was cool going to like a joint practice because the energy sort of picked up there. I would say this, I think I said this on Boy Green Meets Woody yesterday real quick. I thought the intensity wasn't there that it normally is. We've had those classic, like, I'm sure Rich Cimini or Zach Rosenblatt a couple of years ago certainly wrote about when you have like the crazy fights of like Jets going after Giants players going after Jets players. Brian Dable didn't want the Jets to tackle, or Jets or Giants. He made the decision, and Aaron Glenn ended up agreeing with him and compromising. They didn't do full-on tackling, and then some of the Giants players that we thought were going to be there were out, like Malik Neighbors, and that took down the intensity because if you're tackling, things get a little spicy. But where I will tell you that practice intensity increased was we got to the red zone period, and here's the fine line, right? So if you're not tackling, now all you're doing is sort of doing this weird two-hand touch thing, or just sort of hip checking somebody, just kind of give them a shoulder bump, like you don't go through the full tackling process, but you just kind of like bump him as he walks by. And the fine line is now you're not allowed to tackle, but what's too far? Like, well, we're not supposed to tackle, and you just gave me some extra mustard on that sandwich. Like, hey man, you just pushed it, and that created some intense moments and chippiness of like Giant players pushing it a little too far, hitting harder than they should have because it's not supposed to be tackled. So that's where the intensity sort of picked up there. But to answer Hep's question about what was the best part, it was cool to just do some one-on-one conversations with players. One of the funny moments that happened was with Arian Smith. I don't think I said this anywhere. So Arian came over to us, and there's a few Jet fans around, and they said, man, we want to see like an 80-yard touchdown in the preseason or practice or something, like, just a deep bomb to get everyone going crazy. And Arian Smith looked at us, winked, and said, we don't do that in practice, like to indicate that like they're saving it for the season. And that was like, so some of those cool moments that you get that are insane. Also, it's just cool to be there. I got to meet John Abraham yesterday, Jets legend. That was super cool. And there's just great community, just like there is digitally here on Boy Green Daily and the Boy Green Coffee Club. It's just cool to have this community that we all rally together. There's 300 people, so I'm keeping track on all my phone, computer, and everywhere else I am. There's 300 people in the room right now on August 13th at 8:21 in the morning, hearing whatever I have to say about the New York Jets. That's incredibly humbling. Meeting all the people yesterday was incredibly humbling. People saying I'm a good follow on Twitter, or that they watch the show, or it's really cool. That's all humbling stuff. And I can't believe that's real. It's like I paid those people to say those things, but it's crazy, absolutely crazy. So thank you guys for rolling with us. All right, let me catch up on the latest comments. Sorry, I was just rambling there. Let me see here. I can answer any of your questions or comments you have. Let's see. So I did buy a Jets football. The Jets football was to get us a few autographs. I thought that'd be a central place. I also brought 2 jerseys. I'll tell you guys this real quick. So I thought it was going to be hot as balls, so I didn't wear a Jets jersey on my person. You saw it. I wore the Austrian, which, by the way, another Austrian shirt. Thank you, Austrian. The Justin Fields shirt I'm wearing today, all made by our number one Austrian Jet fan. But you're allowed to bring like a clear plastic bag. So I brought 2 jerseys along just in case, like, because I'm going as a fan, I'm not going as media, so I can get things autographed and stuff. So I'm like, let me bring my Justin Fields jersey and my Garrett Wilson jersey. I won't wear it, but I'll have it in a bag, hopefully aside, that if the opportunity presents itself and I run into Justin Fields or Garrett, that they can sign it. And like I said, Garrett comes over, and I'm like, oh my God, perfect. And I go into that big-ass green Jets duffel bag, green big Jets duffel bag they give you when you buy stuff from the shop. And I pulled out my Garrett Wilson jersey, and he signed it. So I'll post that on social media at some point later because, like I said, today's Jets joint practice, so we've got more important things to worry about than my frivolous jersey sharing experience and all that. But so I'll post that on social media later. but that was cool. So Garrett's a really cool dude. He's really cool with the fans, and I hope that's good to hear for you guys, because sometimes players aren't what they are cracked up to be. And sometimes players could have bad days, so I don't want to judge. But Garrett's just really good with the fans, and he requests pictures, jerseys. He wants to give a good jersey autograph. There's this woman who was wearing his jersey, and some players just go signing, not even thinking about it. And Garrett asked the woman to move. He said, "I want to make sure I give you a good signature," and sort of was adjusting her to and he didn't have to do that. So he just did a lot of really cool stuff. So it was cool seeing old Garrett there. So that was fun. A super chat coming in from MFC. Appreciate all the super chats here on the show. We hear from my daughters, Rayluna.
Wow.
BG, did security question you on the contents in your giant bag? Someone suggested it was aluminum cans. Some other people could have suggested, it was my Lucky Charms for a leprechaun. Good joke. That could have played. I tried to get the duffel bag out of as many photos as possible. A few times I was able to put it down, but for Garrett, I think I had it. Maybe actually Garrett, I did not have it. Who else did I have it for? Obviously Tanner is the one that's going viral of people seeing that. So that was funny. MFC, you're $1 away from another raffle ticket, and you picked up one, so you're now at 8 raffle tickets so far this month. Thank you so much. That's funny. No recycling was happening there. So we'll see. So none of that happened. Alon here. Aren't you press, BG? So yes and no. At Bill's training camp, I was a credentialed media member. I applied for media credentials. I was approved for media credentials. And there's all kinds of rules, obviously, when you're a media member. You can't ask for autographs, can't ask for, you can do pictures if you're, doing an interview, with somebody. That's allowed. But, you can't, say, hey, sign this for my brother. That you could get your press credential ripped away and banned for that. So for Buffalo Bills, I was. But for the Jets, I did not end up getting credentialed as a media member. So, again, I wasn't going to go. It's far away, and I wasn't going to do it. But, again, obviously I love the Jets, so if I had the opportunity to go and I could work it out with my family, I would have. But I did not go as media, and I wasn't going to go. And then Luby invited me as a fan to go in the stands. I said, sure. And so I was going to take full advantage of being a fan and getting things signed and having fun like that. But obviously when you're a media member, you're incredibly professional. You don't do any of that kind of stuff. So for folks who don't know, those are the rules. You cannot do that kind of stuff when you're media. So I normally have credentials, but in this specific instance, I did not. I went as a fan. That's another good one. Garrett would have taken my bag, but he was already handed one, which a lot of people congratulated him on from the fans. So that was very nice. Yeah. Let's see. Papa, I can't put the bag down. They're always after your Lucky Charms. There you go. That's nice. So that was good. There you go. There's another super chat coming in from MFC.
Wow.
Appreciate that, MFC. Thank you very much. You're now at 9 raffle tickets so far this month, so appreciate it. We'll be drawing that on September 1st. For those who don't know what raffle we have going this month, I think I can show this real quick here on the screen so you guys can see it. Let me see if I can get it quickly here as I'm working multiple screens and phones here. Let me see. I think I have it. Yes, here it is. Although I got to get an updated version because on top of all the items you see here on the screen, there's a random vintage Jets player T-shirt, blast of the past. We're throwing that in. There's a New York Jets Highland Mid Super Bowl III flip coin, flashed in 24 karat gold. A New York Jets logo athletic prime hoodie T-shirt, and that's not shown on this screen. We also have Kickoff Kitchen, a copy of that book. Shout out to Badshaw. He's donating it to whoever the winner of this contest is on September 1st. That book comes out later this month. I already had a copy because I was working with Tim Lopez. He's the professional Philadelphia Eagles chef, the Super Bowl chef that joined us earlier. So all of these items are up for grabs. You spend $3 on the channel, you have a chance to win all these. And again, that will be going on throughout the entire month of August. And if you're new to the channel, we do this giveaway. We do giveaways, every single month. So here are all the items on the screen that you guys can see. Those are all up for grabs. But let me answer MFC's super chat here. He was taking them to Michigan for the 10 cents, which, by the way, that apparently is a technique that works for some. Although I will tell you, because I have people visit my house sometimes, and my fiance's family is from Massachusetts, and sometimes they bring their own beer and stuff. And when I went to redeem some of our cans, I wasn't thinking about it. When they drink their beers, they just throw them with our recycling like normal. And I went to redeem our cans, and it rejected it, saying, "Hey, don't be trying to sneak Massachusetts cans in here." I'm like, "Whoa, man! I wasn't sneaking anything. I didn't even know they put them in there." So yeah, I don't know if they allow that still, but they definitely don't allow that in New York, apparently. So take that for what you will. Scotty Mayhem, were you and Connor Long misidentified? That could have happened. I cracked a joke to somebody. Lou B asked me, like, "Oh, Connor Long's a big fan of Jamal Pritchett, the South Alabama wide receiver." And I said, "Oh, that makes sense because they're closer to the same height." So I got to make a short joke about someone else. That was nice. But, it's not really a short joke. Connor Long's just a kid. So, he's supposed to be short, I imagine. I'm short for the rest of my life. So I don't know if that joke really hit, but I tried to get it in where I could. For sure. Scotty Mayhem, good question. Is Connor Long taller, shorter, or equal in height? I don't know. I think we took a picture together last year, but I don't remember. So I don't know wherever that picture is out in the universe, so you guys can double check that. I think it was, I hope I was taller, but I don't think I was taller by much, if I remember correctly. So not good. Yep, I'm a short bastard. That's for sure. Let me try to think of any other. You guys can keep sending in your questions. I'll keep trying to answer them. We've got 330 people in the room. Please like the video, hit subscribe, show your support. We're getting closer to 8,000 subscribers, and oh my God, thank you guys so much for the support. We're about 120 or 119 subscribers away from 8,000. We continue to grow and grow and grow. So thank you guys for that. That is so cool, and I'm so humbled. That's awesome. My big goal is 10,000. That's a number I thought about when I first started doing this YouTube channel, and the fact that we're anywhere near close to it, and it's inevitably going to happen, is just an amazing thing. So every day I'm blessed that I'm able to do this show. I'm trying to think of my other observations. So again, Breece Hall's utilization as a wide receiver was very intriguing to me. Mason Taylor miraculously coming back with his high ankle sprain was incredibly encouraging. The Giants' defensive line is really good. They were given the business a couple of times to the Jets' offensive line, which I think was a good test. I'm not concerned about that. The Giants' offensive line, or Giants' defensive line, is really good. Let me see. Who else stood out to me? Donovan Edwards, he did have a fumble in 7-on-7. He caught this ball, and the Giant defender ripped it out. And he didn't rip it out. It didn't take a lot of ripping out to do it. Donovan sort of dropped that a little too willy-nilly. So that was concerning. But for the most part, he had a really good day of splash plays. Braylon looked really good as a runner. He looked really good out there. We didn't see a lot of big Garrett Wilson plays, unfortunately. It wasn't in the cards for whatever reason. Who else? Adrian Martinez looked really good. He had a couple of really nice throws to Mason on the big highlight play we highlighted yesterday on the Boy Green Meets Woody show. That was one of the highlights of the entire practice. That was spectacular. So yeah, there's some. Tyler Johnson had another one of those highlight plays, basically in the same spot as Mason Taylor, like a 25-yarder, toe drag swag, got the feet in. The crowd went crazy. That was another good one too. So that was awesome. And just in general, the joint practice, it's just a great opportunity for these guys to work. Now, AG was not asked about this yesterday. We'll see if he's asked about this as they're on the road in Giants land. But is he going to play his starters in the preseason game this weekend? Typically, when you do joint practices, you do not play those starters. But AG, there's been nothing typical about what AG's brought to the team so far. So I would say that. There you go, Mr. Fulton here. Morning, Paul. I have big breaking news today. I got an email from American Idol, and I've made it to the next round of American Idol this year of the fall on ABC. So I don't know if you're allowed to be telling us this, but terrific. That is awesome. So there you go. Congratulations, Mr. Famous Fulton. That's great news, man. That's great news. MFC with another super chat coming through. You're killing it, buddy.
Wow.
Put that aside for your total. You're another $1 away from another raffle ticket, MFC. So appreciate it, buddy. Thank you very much. Wow, Connor said on Jake's show recently he's 5'11". Jesus Christ. Well, I'll tell you this: he wasn't 5'11" last year, the year before. Whenever we took the picture together, he was definitely not 5'11". Because if he was, he'd be towering over me. So 5'11". That seems sort of unbelievable. I don't think that can. I don't want to call Connor a liar, but I don't think if we're talking about Connor long hair, that he's 5'11", unless he had like the greatest growth spurt of all time. How old is Connor? Like 13, 14 maybe? I mean, I guess that's possible, but I don't know. 5'11" seems tall, but I will tell you this: he was certainly not 5'11", or he would have been Tanner Angstranding me yesterday with that like a singular bar as if we were next to each other. So 5'11" seems a little unrealistic for 13, 14, whatever the hell he is now, but maybe, I guess. But there you go. I'm being told that BG is much hairier. I am a furball, so I take that for what you can. Nate says Connor can definitely be 5'11" at that age. I saw him a few weeks ago. Okay, well, Nate knows better than me. So, like I said, I haven't seen Connor maybe a year or two. Whenever we took the picture, that could have been at the tailgate. I'm not sure. Him and his dad. Everyone else was saying he is that tall. So I'm an idiot. So totally possible that happens all the time. But yes, congratulations again to Mr. Famous Fulton. Yeah, Scotty Mayhem's like, I got the hair DNA. Yeah, there you go. I've got the beard. So, booyah. Yeah. If this was somehow a pissing contest, I guess I won that one. There you go. Indy says, Pops, if I get to 1 million subscribers, I can't even imagine that. Like, I know you have to sort of manifest things and visualize things. That would be wild to get 1 million subscribers. That would be insane. Now, let me see this. I will attempt here. Yeah, Pops' big goal is 1 million. That would be an unbelievable experience if 1 million Jet fans or fans just that enjoy me do that. That would be pretty cool. And shout out, there's my guy, Lou B, Super Jets fan. He says Connor's very, very tall, so okay, he is, okay. We've established that. Lou B, hook me up, and Lou B, I'm never going to forget this for the rest of my life, so I know I've been giving you a lot of thank yous, but you deserve it. You're such a very, very nice man, and it's great to hear that you're such a big fan of the show. Congrats on winning the raffle last month. Can't wait to see you for Jets Cowboys, and I'll tell you guys this, I'll have more details to come with Luby to announce a partnership together, but Jet fans are coming to our Jets Cowboys tailgate on Sunday, October 5th for the Week 5 game. Luby is doing something very special for you guys, something very special, so that's really cool. Alon asked about how did Cam Scadaboo do, the very talented player. I believe he's hurt, so I don't think he participated yesterday, if I'm being honest. And then number two, the other problem for us of where we were sitting in the media stand, not media stands, the fan stands, excuse me, is we did not get to see a lot of the Jets' number one defense against the Giants' number one offense. So we didn't get to see the 7-on-7s or 11-on-11s. The only thing we got was at the end of practice, we got red zone drills between Giants, and I don't think Cam was out there that I saw. He could have been. There's a chance I not there. So here's the other difference I would say. When you're with the fans, right? I've got a phone here for tweeting. I've got a notebook here for note taking, and obviously that big duffel bag you guys saw. So I was trying to sort of balance everything. You don't have like a desk or anything, and depending on where you are in media, you could be up on the patio or down on the field. So as a media member, you have more access to some of that stuff. So they would have known, whether or not Scatterboo was available, but I don't believe so for sure. But it was cool. It was cool to go. My Papa's and Connor was definitely taller in that photo. Oh, well. It's funny the fish story you tell, I guess, sometimes. His voice dropped, too. Oh, I haven't seen a Connor show in a while, so apparently, he's got a deeper voice now? Okay, I guess that's puberty for you, I suppose. and I appreciate that. G Money 9513. This is the best show to wake up to for sure. That's all that matters. And to be honest, whether I have 1 subscriber, 8,000 subscribers, 10,000 subscribers, or whatever number I have, I just love the community we've built. To be honest with you, it's really cool. It's really cool that for the tailgate, right? 60. Think about that. And I don't know if that's crazy to other people, but it's crazy to me. That 60-something Jet fans are coming to this Jets Cowboys tailgate to hang out with me for this game and to meet each other and to be this community. That's insane. That's absolutely insane to me. So I never forget about that. Indy says, don't forget us little people when you make it that big. I definitely won't. I hope I get to do this show forever, to be honest, in some form or fashion. That's going to be a very important thing to me, whatever job I get, that I'm going to be able to continue to do this, that hopefully they don't block this out and say, nah, we want you to do this instead. Hopefully I'll always get to do this. So that would be pretty cool. Jets Worldwide, Paul, I can't lie. You meeting all those players, I am a little jealous. That's creative. I'll give you that on the short jokes today. That's among the most creative, Jets Worldwide. I appreciate that. Here's what I'm going to do, guys. I don't know how much longer this computer battery is. All right, so here's what I'll do. I will attempt to open up the phone lines here. We'll see if it works with how this is set up. If it is, I'd love to take phone calls, so we'll give it a whirl. If you'd like to call in, you can call in for a little bit here on the show. I'm going to play a quick half song, and we'll see if we can get the phone lines working here on Boy Green Daily. Hang on tight.
Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. Talking Jets football, man. Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily, Boy Green Daily. New York Jets Football Club. Offense, defense, special teams, watch Jets football with Boy Green. J-E-T-S, Jets. Let's go!
What's going on, everybody? Again, Paul Ashton Jr. here, a.k.a. Boy Green. I'm the New York Jets digital reporter for Heavy.com. Welcome to Boy Green Daily, a daily New York Jets video show, also available wherever you get your podcast. We're here. I'm streaming live from a hotel near Florham Park for the New York Jets. I got to come here last second. We're here for, what's today? Wednesday? Oh, yeah, I guess I got to check out at some point today. And then we're going to hang around the area for a little bit. And then we're going to be heading back. Excellent news. So I'm glad that we got to stay the night last night, allowed to do more stuff with the family. So that was really cool. If you guys would like to call in, the pinned comment on youtube.com/boygreen25 is there. We're going to see if this works. I don't know. Like I said, I'm balancing a computer and a phone and microphone and all this weird stuff. So hopefully this works. And again, thank you guys so much for the support. So I appreciate it. Yeah, let's park this keister right here. So let's give this a whirl. And here is a man that we will all get to spend some time with here in the not-so-distant future for a meet and greet the night before the game, and for the game, of course, as well. It is none other than Chef Kevin Gilbert, who's like probably down the street here. What's up, Chef?
Yo, BG, what up, man? Good morning to you. Shout out to the Coffee Club members. Shout out number one Austin Jet fan, man. Keep doing your thing, man. And Lou B, man. That was pretty huge, man. Good hookup, man. Appreciate your services, being able to get our guy BG and his family behind the scenes at training camp, man. That was a pretty cool sight to see. Looking at your shorts, man. With what me and my son do, we're a big fan of shorts. Not talking about height or anything, just with, the length of the videos and all that. I've been hearing a lot of short jokes and whatnot, but with you driving down or whatever, I saw the excitement, man. You was like a kid on Christmas Eve, man, just couldn't fall asleep. Just, it seemed like you was in your car at like 3 a.m., just hyped up, man. They taking that trip down to beautiful Jersey, man. Florham Park area, like, seeing that excitement and then seeing some stuff throughout the day. Like I got up late, man. I got up at 8 o'clock yesterday, which is like the latest I've slept in a long time. I've just been, working a lot or whatever. But, I had a couple opportunities to go out there and, that would have been, pretty cool to see. But yeah, I'm about 30 minutes away from Florham Park. So, if it's not out of the way for you, stop on by. I'm here.
Ooh, How long are you in the office today?
We open at 11. I'm out of here at like 2:30. I got to pick my son up. He's involved in Kumon math. So,
He's involved.
it's a say it again.
You said he's involved in what?
Kumon math. That's like a after school like program for like math and reading that helps enhance. There's like certain kind of things that
Oh,
they do to like helps train and strengthen like your memory and all that kind of stuff. So, it's we could buy worksheets, workbooks, whatever, and let them do them during, the off season for school. But for us, he's been doing it all year, so it was just like, what, it takes about a half hour, 45 minutes a day, man. Just do this. He goes into the spot twice a week on Mondays and Wednesdays. So, I'm normally off on Mondays, so that's easy. Wednesdays, I get here super early at work, so I'm able to dial in and get my stuff done, which is why I'm normally calling on Wednesdays because I'm here really early, and at the time that you come on, it's easy for me to jump on for a couple minutes, make a couple of jet points that went out and be on my day. But
all
yeah,
right.
2:30. That's when I'm out of here. So I mean, doors open at 11. If you're here,
Okay.
around that time, man, gotcha, man.
Well, expect boom, boom, boom coming today. Cool to finally meet you in person, Chef. So I'm going to put it on the bingo card, and we'll see if that checks off today. That'd be awesome. So
Absolutely.
been
I
such.
got if you don't mind me, I got a couple questions for you, man. I don't really
Yeah.
have questions, but
Oh,
just knowing with you being there yesterday
yeah.
and all that,
Yeah.
I guess the first one is like, what's the biggest difference from the Bills training camp and the Jets training camp? With I guess like how the fans were, the atmosphere, how locked in and dialed in both teams looked, relaxed. Like I was just curious because you were at the Bills. They are, our enemies and all that. I know you were undercover and all that, but I just wanted to see your takeaway from both of those since I never been to a Bills training camp.
That's a great question. I'm glad you asked that. I would say, and Bill's Mafia, I'm sure is going to take great offense to this. Jet fans were crazier, man. The Bills, with how they set it up at St. John Fisher, you sort of have like this almost like game like tunnel of where the players come out and the fans are sort of stacked on top. So they can sort of see around the fans. But they're like for the Jets, they've got sort of stuff built around. So like you could be on multiple sides of all the fields to see the Jets. Now again, in fairness, the Bills are at a college, doing their practices. I have not been to the Bills' actual facilities for if they host fans over there. So the
Yeah,
Jets, obviously are at their home facilities, so they have a better thing for that. But I would just say the fans were crazier for sure. They were doing random Jet chants of all kinds of things. Justin Field chants, let Brady cook chants. I was like, what in the world is going on out here? So the fans were certainly crazier at the Jets training camp for sure. And the other thing was that again, there was just sort of a buzz in the air. And I don't know. I just didn't sense that in the same way at Bills camp. Maybe it's because it was so late, because we were at the second to last Bills training camp date at that college. So maybe they're worn out. I don't even know what the right word to say is. But yeah, the Jets, the aura was different. There's just, and that's another thing too, right? The Bills have this continuity. Sean McDermott and Brandon Beane and Josh Allen, all these guys have been there for like 100 years. Like for the Jets, there's like you open a fresh bag of chips and give a nice little, there's that fresh bag of chips smell happening when Jets drive. You can feel it with the fans, you can feel it with AG, the energy, the fire, the chutzpah. So obviously, hey, if the Jets want to do what they want to do, the Buffalo Bills are inside their division. Justin Fields talked about it when he talked about like his goals for the season. He said, "I want to win this division." And the Jets haven't won this division, and now it's 23 years. So I love that their goals are there, and if we want to do it, Ric Flair, to be the man, you got to beat the man. The man is the Buffalo Bills. They've been the man for the last couple of years, so we have to go through them if we want to do it. So yeah, they're the challenge.
nice. And then with AG talking about discipline and everything like that, holding everybody accountable, which we all love. We all want that. And, we're seeing some signs of it. Now, he does have favorites as well. So with Clemens, I heard he had another penalty to no surprise, right? To no surprise, heard he got yanked. Were you able to see any kind of like word exchange, any body language of like AG being pissed or just kind of let him go? Like, And if you didn't see it, then do you know, talking to other people about reporting or whatever? Because I haven't heard of anything other than he did get flagged, which obviously didn't come to any surprise.
Yeah, so two things here. I'll start off on a non-Michael Clemens thing. I'll end on Michael Clemens. So Kingsley
Hmm.
John, I covered him here at Syracuse. He joined the Jets super late, like on the last day of mandatory minicamp. He might have practiced that last day, and then they broke for camp. They added him, and he spent a lot of time with the Buffalo Bills. He wears 57 now, which is C.J. Mosley's old number, so that's how he stands out. And they were doing a red zone drill where Jackson Dart was the quarterback for the Giants, and Kingsley Jonathan came screaming around the end and sacked. I say sacked, quote unquote.
Yeah,
Jackson, you don't actually sack. You don't touch your quarterbacks under any
two
circumstance.
hand touch.
100%. So it's just two-hand touch. And basically, what you're supposed to do as a pass rusher, basically put your hand up if you think you would have sacked him, and then you let the play continue. They go through and finish the play. And Kingsley Jonathan came around the end, sacked Jackson Dart, but he lifted his hand, then took off his helmet, started screaming like I'm him," and going crazy. Now the problem is, while the energy was cool and fans went a little crazy, AG immediately ran out there and got in his face and like gave him because like and I think he was coming to yell at him, and then Kingsley like high fived him like yeah, awesome, and AG went yeah. Get your ass to the yeah, over there, because it's a penalty. If you take your helmet off in the middle of a play, that's immediate flag. So AG was, and people were, when I told that story yesterday, people were like saying AG dad was out there, like, come on now, and cracking the whip there. So from that standpoint, he's constantly doing that for the players that I saw yesterday. Again, when something happens, he's immediately addressing it. He's not letting it ride. He's not saying, I'll address this in-house. None of that stupid solid crap was going on here. And then to work to Clemens, right? So they're doing a red zone drill, and Russell Wilson's giving him cadence, right? He's giving him a little like bluebird, and then he got Clemens to jump, and I'm like, get the bleep out of here. So immediately AG comes over to him and like gives him one of these, and then you can just see a lot of this. There was a lot of like it,
Yes.
we're too far away, so like we can't get like quotes or what was he saying, but it looked like he
Yeah.
was get your shit together, buddy. And then,
Hmm.
but most of the time when a player has made a mistake, they are immediately yanked on the field. He allowed Clemens to stay out there for the play, and then after that play, he yanked him out because they were part of a thing with the Giants. So it seems like, again, what we need, I will say overall, there was less. Whatever the word is, like penalties, like overall penalties in the Jets during practice, the Jets did much better. There's a lot of
Okay.
penalties thrown on the Giants, so the Jets cleaned it up from an overall penalty perspective in this practice. So that was obviously encouraging, but we need to see it in the regular season. That's what's going to matter. It's not my recounting of a August 12th joint practice of whether penalties were a little lower, and hopefully that makes us feel a little better. It's going to be in the preseason games, which is a test for what we see in the regular season of cracking the whip.
Yeah, well, thank you, man. I just have, one more question, but then I
Yeah.
guess just the comment, man. I like hearing that, because I haven't seen any joint practices with age yet. That was, the first one, with the new regime. So that's good to see and hear because, last year there was a lot of like high five and chest bumping when we went against the Giants last year in the joint practice against the Commanders as well. So that, there was a lot of that. You I was never really too high on like getting hyped up with training camp practices. Like, we got to see the product on the field, man. Like, you make a good play, all right, cool, but you got to still remain like locked in and engaged, man. Don't get too happy, man, because we got to get the wins, man. We got to get the playoffs. Do that, then get a little bit happy. Like, what are we celebrating training camp stuff for? So, I totally get it. I like the fact that AG is still trying to keep these guys grounded or whatever, knowing that, hey, it's just practice at the end of the day. Like, let's get the game stuff together. Let's, build some big some films, get some tape together where we're looking pretty good, where we could utilize this moving forward. And then I guess just the last one, man. I know you was talking a lot about Mason Taylor doing his thing and all that. Yo, I saw with that front four with the Giants, man. They've basically, for as long as I've known, they've had pretty good like D lines. Like they've been known for that. Going
Sure.
back to the stray hands and all. Like
New
they've been
York.
known for that.
Yeah.
But the secondary has always been like soft and weak and all that. So I mean, they could get a good push and all that and apply some pressure. But then the secondary is just there. Like Tyler Johnson, I saw one of those highlights where he had a crazy catch going to the sideline in traffic or whatever, which looks pretty good, man. Knowing, about G5 is who he is. Reynolds, I feel like he'll be serviceable. Lazard, I mean, he's only good for blocking. He can't really do too much else. So, to see Johnson, and when I saw him at training camp, like he looked pretty good too. The route running is there. The hands are there as well. So, that was really good and encouraging to see. And I guess the last part, man, like where did you sit like while you was at training camp? Like did you have a really good view in the stands? Were you, boots on the ground? Just like what was your feel? Like what were you trying to accomplish and where you were sitting and all that to get like a good view of the practice?
So a big shout out to Lou B, because so I went down and sat in. I wanted to, because again, it's sort of for Jet fans who have never been to training camp. There's like 12 different. I'm over exaggerating, but there's like a bunch of different places you could sit to observe practice, and there are different parts of the field. So like one's all the way over here, one's all the way over there, one's all the way over there. So you're sort of making an educated guess on where you believe the best action is going to be.
Hmm.
So I got incredibly lucky that I picked the right area. So I got a great view of basically the entire practice. The only one that I didn't get a good look at is the Jets' number one defense against the Giants' number one offense for like the bulk of like the first hour of practice. That was on a
Hmm.
separate field. And to be honest, I don't know who could have gotten a very good look at that because of the access for fans. I don't know if with how they had that set up would, even if you wanted to see that, if you could have gotten a good look at it because of how the fields were set up. So I picked a good field, but I picked it immediately. I was sitting in the front in the sun on the very front row. I said, I'm going to be right on top of the action. And then
Hmm.
like, what the hell are you doing, man? Let's get in the shade and let's back up. And I went like, because it was hot as hell. I'm just
Hot
going to
as hell. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
part of the experience, baby. I want to sweat. Come on, gods. And then he's like, "What the hell are you doing, man? Let's get back up here." I'm like, okay. And we got back up there, and I got an even better view of all the fields. So I said, "Oh, thank you, Lou B. You're a professional. You've been here before doing some of these practices." So we backed up, and I just got to see. It was good because like then you could see vision. Like when Justin's running 7-on-7s against the Giants, I can just see it's like you're playing a Madden video game. I could see what he sees. I could see his vision of how he's going through progressions. So that was helpful. And so I had great seats from that perspective after Lou B came along, and it was well before practice, so I got a good look at the entire practice the entire time. So that was refreshing, and that was awesome. And the seats were great. The 7-on-7s were really intriguing, seeing Justin Fields sort of go to town. And to your point, the Giants secondary, which is incredibly questionable, the Jets took a lot of advantage of that, and they were eating it up in 7-on-7s. Running backs, wide receivers. There's a few times when we got into 11-on-11s, and that's where you have obviously pass rushers being involved, where Justin Fields had to do all kinds of crazy immediate pressure. He's got to like wiggle and do crazy ass stuff to like get out of the pocket. So we had to do that a few too many times than I would have liked. The good news is it wasn't full on tackling, and
Hmm.
quarterbacks don't get touched anyway. But in a real game, if we are getting that kind of interior pressure, that would have been really bad news bears there for Justin Fields.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm a go. I know you got, some other calls or whatever. If you decide to come through or whatever, chop it up a little more. But, for the record, man, with our guy Connor Long, man, I'm 5'11". He's either 5'11" or 6 foot. Like, and I saw him last year. I met him last year for the first time at training camp, and he was a lot shorter, like
Okay.
than he is now. So he had some kind of crazy growth spurt where I'm like Connor, like we're eye level, or he might be slightly taller than me.
Oh my
So he's a tall young man, and I believe he's now going into freshman year in high school, man. So there's probably going to be some more growing to come, man. But salute to you. Appreciate all that content. I know there's gonna be more stuff coming out. I appreciate you. Shout out to the coffee club and all the members, man. Appreciate y'all.
Thank you so much, Chef, and hopefully I'm meeting Chef later today, Chef Kevin Gilbert here in Jersey. All right, folks, I will try to take as many calls as I can here before the battery runs out of my computer, which is allowing me to sort of screen phone calls and things of that nature. So we'll keep plugging along here and seeing how much more life this has to give. Up next, we have, and I've been saving this nugget for this guy that's about to join us on the show. I wrote it in my notebook, and I said, this is for this guy right here on my sheet. So let's bring him in. And before we do, let me catch up on a few super chats here. Just want to make sure I get to them. First off, number one Austrian Jet fan says Chef Kev is numero uno.
Wow.
Absolutely as number one Austrian Jet fan. So thank you very much. He's the best. I appreciate it. And thank you for sending that along, pal. Much appreciated here on the channel. You got yourself another raffle ticket for our contest. You've been killing it as I'm moving and grooving over here. So thank you, our number one Austrian Jet fan. Thank you very much. Let me see. I think we got another super chat here, so I want to make sure I get to that. There it is. MFC sending in a super chat. Thank you.
Wow.
In the chat. Oh, he did. Oh, I missed Connor's message. I'll try to get back to that here shortly. So let me see if I can find that. I will address that. I did not see. Yeah, sorry with my current setup here that I'm a little off kilter of what I'm normally doing in terms of being involved with the chat. But you have 10 raffle tickets now, MSC. And yeah, Connor, if you're still here, you can feel free to drop it again. I'm sorry I missed it here in the chat. I will bring that back up. But while we're waiting for that to come through, again, I've been saving this nugget for this guy. So let's bring him in. Ricky, New York Live, you're next year on the show. And Ricky, this nugget's for you, pal. You want to know who made a big splash play in camp? Pokey Wilson, baby. Pokey Wilson. And this is the first time I got to say it. I haven't said it on any other show. I was waiting for you, Ricky. Ricky, I think you're on mute, unless that's me, or maybe I'm just not hearing it now. I don't know. Oh, nope, it's okay. Go ahead, Ricky. All right, let me see. Is anyone else hearing Ricky? Again, this could just be me. Let me know if it is. I am not hearing Ricky all of a sudden now, so let me know if that's me or not. All right, so people, make sure you guys get involved in the comment section and tell me if I've pressed a button here that I wasn't supposed to. And please let me know. Let me see if it's me here. I'll put my sound on. All right. Folks, please let me know if you could hear Ricky. It's not. It's not me. Okay, so it's Ricky. Something, Ricky, with your sound. I'm not hearing you. Not hearing anybody. It says you're on some level of mute, but I'm looking at your screen and I don't see your mic on mute. So here's what I'll do, Ricky. I'll take you off here. It looks like no sound is coming because I can see your audio levels and there's nothing there. So I'm going to kick you out of the studio real quick, see if you can come back, and we'll try to see if we can get you. Okay, perfect. Just want to make sure it's not me. I'm in a weird situation, so it could have been me. All right, we'll go next. Let's see, Scotty Mayhem.
Hey, BG, how are you?
Hey, what's up, Scotty? Good to see you, man.
Loved hearing about your experience. It sounds like it was amazing. I will tell you, yesterday, I kind of felt it like that jilted girlfriend because it's 7:15. I normally get my BG notification, and I'm looking for my notification, and there's no BG. 7:30 comes, 7:30 a.m., there's no BG, and I'm like, wasn't I invited to the party? And then I see you driving in the midst of the night
Yes.
with your family, and then I felt better. I didn't feel like the jilted girlfriend anymore. But you got to let us know about those little journeys. I was very, very upset yesterday not getting my daily BG in the morning.
Yes, that's totally on me. I should have been more, and I have to for you guys. I love that you guys love this community so much and you support it to a great degree. So I thought I was going to be able to get the Boy Green Daily in the middle of all this hoopla, but apparently, sometimes this hotel had other plans. But I have to be more forthright of letting you guys know the most up to date information. So absolutely no excuse for it. I got to be better for sure. So I love.
Absolutely, for a great reason, though. So we love it,
What do I get?
all of us. I have some questions about the camp. Then
Yes.
there was some kind of Watergate situations going on. But first, I want to hear about your experience with the different pictures that you took. First with Taylor Engstrand, which I find extremely fascinating. I know you said it was like a 5-minute conversation. Kind of give us like the insight to that personality. What kind of guy is he? I thought he called an amazing game in Green Bay. What was your takeaway, in the 5 minutes that you spent with him? Like, what kind of guy is he? Give us some, real background on him.
Sure. So again, Lou B just knows people, and when he was bringing me to a gated area, and I'm like, "Are you sure we're allowed to be here?" Because again, I came as a fan. I didn't have any media credit. I didn't have nothing. And he went, "Yeah, I'm sure." And he knew a guy, and then said, "Hey, Boy Green's with me." I'm like, "All right, I guess I am." And then he brought me through, and there's Tanner Engstrand and Alan Lazard all by themselves. There's no fans around them, no nothing. And like, of course, I know who these two people are, and I would love to chat with them, but like, I don't know what the rules are, so I don't say anything at first. And then Lou B says, "Let me introduce you." He daps up Tanner Engstrand and says, "Hey, this is my guy, Boy Green, Paul Eston Jr. He does a Jets show called Boy Green Daily." And I'm like, still in shock, like, is this really happening right now? And then Tanner Engstrand says, "Ah, nice to meet you, Paul." He sticks out his hand. I'm like, yeah, sure, great to meet you too, Jets offensive coordinator Tanner Engstrand. And yeah, he said, "Oh, what show do you do?" "Oh, Boy Green Daily." "Oh, interesting." And so we had this whole conversation, and then we started getting into sort of some of the offensive play calling stuff. And I'll just tell you, he's just got he's intelligent as all hell. He's got a really analytical mind. We were just talking about a little bit about, his plan for Justin Fields, how much he studies and is paying attention to all these sort of trends offensively, and how he's really focused on that stuff. So he doesn't have like a lot of time for, basically, no offense, he wasn't listening to the show, and again, that's no offense taken. Not everyone gets a chance to listen to the show. That's okay. No issues there. And yeah, so he's just sort of talking about, like his passion for offensive football. And even though he's never been an offensive coordinator at this level until now that he's holding that position, Scotty, I just feel there's just a confidence about him. Obviously, like I said, he's intelligent. There's some analytical stuff to him. You can sort of hear on some of the answers he had in our very brief discussion together. But like, it just seems like he knows what he's doing, which is rare because we've had a lot of terrible Jets offensive coordinators over the last 15 years that have been really bad. So it just sounds like he's smart. He's confident. He knows what he's doing. He has a plan. I thought the drive, really the offense in general against Green Bay was great, but that opening drive, the mix of run and pass, just the decision making, the way that he had scheme players open, like, man, it just felt right. So I think Jet fans and coordinators and everything should just feel very confident that we have the right guy.
Like for me in the game, I know it's like one preseason game, but it just was the sort of command, the cadence, there was it wasn't even close to having what we were having last year with the staff, where they were just barely getting the play call in with like 1 second left, or they had multiple, penalties where they weren't prepared and the clock ran out. I just felt like he was so in control, like everything was planned out. So it gives me a lot of confidence. So I was just wondering, like, your experience with him. Did you get that sense that he has that kind of, he's in control? Because that's my sense of what I saw.
100%. That was definitely the vibe I got from him. Is that like, and I didn't even notice it till the picture after that he had his plate right on his chest
Yeah.
as I went over to him. Like again, he just seems, again, and it's hard to say that because like you're almost talking out of two sides of your mouth. Not you, me talking as I'm recapping. That on one hand, he's never done this at the NFL level before.
Right.
So there's an uneasiness, there's a uncertainty with that. But on the other hand, like that he just exudes this confidence, this
Right.
control, and not in a bad way of controlling, like just like he's got a plan and he sort of has the mind for it. And I can basically, when I walked away from that conversation, I just said, I know why AG picked this guy to
Yeah.
be a coordinator. It just was sort of an innate feeling inside my gut because there was a lot of choices, and apparently they're trying to go after that Nick Caley guy, who I think he ended up in
Yes.
Houston. And I think everything happens for a reason. So Tanner just feels like the right guy to turn this thing around, specifically offensively, and I think that's something Jet fans have wanted for a long time.
Yeah, I mean, I saw it in the game, and I just wanted you to, kind of reassure us. But that's kind of the sense I get. He's very much in control, and that,
Yeah.
he was definitely an AG kind of guy.
Yeah.
I just want to run through really quickly. I know there are other callers, but I'm really interested in this. So, of the other people that you spoke to, you said you spoke to Lazard, you spoke to Wilson. Was there anybody else you can name that you had a conversation with? I have a couple of questions.
Yeah, so let's see. So I'll just name them, and then you can ask whatever questions you want. So Quincy Williams, Arian Smith, Garrett Wilson, Mason Taylor,
Wow.
Tanner Angstrand, Al Lazard. Who else did I dap it up with? Who was that? There was the Jets Legends community was there, so I didn't get a chance to chat up with him there, but I know him, and he'll be on a show in the future. Rob Carpenter, he's the former Syracuse wide receiver that played for the Jets, so he's there. I didn't get to have a conversation, but I saw him. Mark Sanchez was there. Quincy Enunwa. I'm trying to think of who else. Oh, yeah, Sauce walked by, so we got to see Sauce. Who else was in that group of people? I'm trying to think. I did not see Justin Fields, so he must have already come through. Some other people said they chatted with him. I did not get a chance to talk to Justin Fields, and Jermaine Johnson. So Jermaine Johnson came through. Quinnen Williams came through. Yeah, there was a bunch of them. So that's a bunch of
So
names.
just in terms of the ones you had conversations with, I'm going to pick out a couple that you mentioned because I'm really interested in this. I'm big on Quincy. I don't think he's going anywhere. I know there's a debate about whether they're going to pay two, off-ball linebackers. I don't think there's a question that they'll pay Quincy. They already made an accommodation for him. He hasn't said, one word. So here's my thing. So first of all, how long did you talk with Quincy? Was it a couple of minutes? Like, did you get
I'd say
chance?
4 minutes, maybe.
Okay, great. So just give us the insight to, I have a really specific question I want to ask, but just give us an insight to the kind of guy he was and what the conversation kind of was generally about.
Yeah, jovial. He just seems excited about life. The fact that he's in the last year of his deal. Again, there was an adjustment. Shout out to Will Parkinson, who had that information about basically they had added incentives into his contract. So if he plays as well as we all think he can, that he's just going to earn money, which is awesome for Quincy. I'm glad the Jets did that. They didn't have to do that, but I'm glad that they did do that. That's a sign of goodwill, a good gesture move. They didn't have to do that. Again, I reiterate for Quincy, just jovial. He's excited about.
It was positive. I mean, there was no stress, there was no negativity, there was no sense of urgency about his contract. It was just Quincy, who we see, the lightning bolt, the destroyer. You just got the positive Quincy, right? Is that an accurate statement?
That is, and I would say a sort of acceptance. So he's in the last year's deal. It's obviously not going to be like it was adjusted for the incentives, but it's not going to extend him for the season. Everyone sort of come to that understanding. But Quincy's not upset about it. He's not anything about it. I'm sure he's very, overjoyed that they decided to give him some incentives to earn a little bit more money. But there was an acceptance of like, okay, I'm going to reprove to everyone that I'm the best linebacker in football, and everyone's going to know about it. So again, a confidence exuded certainly from Quincy of like, I'm going to show all of you guys that, you know what, if you don't want to pay me, Jets, one of the other 31 teams is going to pay me. And decide.
We didn't talk about this offline. I didn't know anything about your call, right? I mean, you're a meeting. I'm just asking you this question directly. So here's my question.
Sure.
Okay. If you had a bet on whether Quincy is going to be an all-pro this year or not, and whether the Jets are going to pay him or not, and then I'll follow up. But what would your bet be based on your interaction with him? Is there any doubt of one or the other?
There is not. I think what this defense is going to be able to do with Steve Wilks is going to utilize Quincy in a way that we haven't seen consistently, and that's as a blitzer. I think Quincy can rack up sacks in a way
I agree, 100%.
Very sparingly. He was used in that way over the previous regime. They didn't believe in all these complicated, exotic blitz schemes. So I think he can rack up numbers. So, yeah, if I had to put a bet and they put a gun to my head, said, is he going to be an all-pro this year? I said, I'd bet on him to be an all-pro, yes.
Okay, so you just hit on exactly my point, which is the prior regime, although he was all-pro with them, he was more of a coverage kind of heat-seeking missile, right? Like he wasn't a blitzer. And so my point is I think what Steve Wilks has shown himself to be and what AG has clearly shown himself to be is somebody that puts pressure on. And so I am so confident that this guy is going to be an all-pro this year. Like his tools are off the chart. He's still pretty, he's young. He's not an old guy, right? He's like 27, 28. I mean, he's not old.
Turns 29 right before the season, I believe.
Right. So he's still in the prime. So my point to you on him is watch. They're never going to let this guy go. If he's playing at an all-pro level, again, linebacker itself isn't a super high-paying number. The salary cap's going up. So I just think for all the people that are, in the Quincy, trade the Quincy, get, some comp back, I think you're crazy. Worst case scenario, we get a comp pick. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think AG is the kind of guy who's going to let that asset go. But in any event, so we're on the same page. I just think the blitzing and the sacks are going to totally distinguish himself. So the other one I really wanted to ask you, do we have time? And then I'll let it go.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, so thank you for that, for Quincy. I think you really just, underscored for the fans, he's going to have a big year, whether we keep him or, we get comp picks from. Mason Taylor and the wide receiver were the two I want to ask you about, but I'll just go to Mason. Just give me a sense. Did you speak to him for a couple of minutes? Did you have some time with him? Okay.
Yeah, I would say less time than the other players, but I did get to.
Okay. Just tell us all the sense of what kind of kid he is and or your overall assessment, because I have a very specific question about him.
Yeah, I would just say I sort of said it earlier, but the fact that he was able to recover this quickly, either Aaron Glenn misdiagnosed a high ankle sprain or Mason Taylor just came back really quickly. It just goes to show you he knows how to take care of his body. His father's a Hall of Famer, Jason Taylor. Obviously, his uncle Zach Thomas, another Hall of Famer. So he knows how to take care of himself. He's a professional. So he was able to get back on the field very quickly. A really good kid, incredibly humble, but again, in the same way, confident. Earlier in the offseason, he made a conversation about how he believed that the tight end position is going to be used very actively in this offense, and he was very excited about it. So, yeah, he's a really good kid. Really good kid.
Good.
Our brief conversation.
I think that's what we've all heard about him. Really hard worker, good kid. Obviously, the bloodlines are like off the chart. I mean, 2 Hall of Famers, in his family. So, again, not a Brock Bowers kind of situation for us, but plus or minus is my question to you. Plus or minus 50 receptions, plus or minus 5 TDs.
Plus.
I'm on the up. So.
The other one?
Okay. Yeah. Again, to me, that's a Tyler Conklin kind of year for a rookie with, a huge ceiling. And then just an observation on Smith, and then I won't ask the question because I've taken up enough time. But I've heard this thing about what they're doing with Smith, the wide receiver, Arian Smith. And I'm really excited about it. It's the kind of thing that's like kind of new age that nobody's really talking about. They're using this kind of strobe light effect to help him with his focus on his catching. Just tell us a little bit about your conversation with him and what have you observed, because I've heard his catch issues are like being resolved before our eyes. Just tell us what you see and what you hear.
Of course, and thank you, Scotty, for the call. I would say Arian's hands have not they haven't been a problem according to other beat reporters in the practices they've attended, and then specifically for me, seeing him yesterday, Quincy did not have not Quincy, Arian, excuse me, did not have any drop issues. He caught the ball very well during the joint practice and made a lot of really good plays. Not spectacular one-handed plays. He just did the basics, which, quite frankly, I think that's what Jet fans want to see is the basic plays being done. So I hadn't heard about the strobe light thing with Arian, so I had not heard that, but that's awesome. Hey, whatever can help him is great. A couple of things here. Brian Farrell, I see this comment. Did the Cowboys game sell out? I'm sorry I didn't get to this comment earlier. They did not. We have 2 tickets left, 2 ticket packages left. They're $300 per person. You get a ticket to the Jets-Cowboys game, section 228A, tailgate tickets, which is the professional food, Chef Kevin Gilbert, and then a T-shirt. But that T-shirt thing's closing soon because I have to make a final decision on all the shirts. So the last 2 people have to figure it out. If you want to go to this event, again, reach out to me as soon as humanly possible. Reach out ASAP, and we'll try to make it happen. So Jets Cowboys, reach out ASAP. You can reach out to me on all social media at BoyGreen25. So feel free to do that. Brian or anyone else that may be interested. I have a question here from Gary Klein. Paul, what is the Hall of Fame based on? It's not supposed to be based on off-the-field activities. The Pro Football Hall of Fame specifically is supposed to be contributions on the field. The other stuff is not supposed to be considered, but sometimes people consider the other stuff off. Here was the comment from Connor Long. Everyone was talking about this from NY Flight Jets Talk, a.k.a. Connor Long. What's up, chat? Per MFC's request, I am in the chat to confirm I am 5'11". Yes, I had a crazy growth spurt. In August of last year, I was 5'3", and now I'm 5'11". What in the world? I just can't even see it in my head because I saw Connor here, and then all of a sudden now that he's going to be towering over me, that's going to be a very tough thought. So good on Connor Long and his parents and all the genes apparently he has that makes him incredibly tall. So wow. That's gonna be a bizarre sight because I'm sure he may be at the Jets Cowboys game or one of these games. And I'm sure I'm going to run into him. So that's crazy. Okay, let's try to get Ricky another chance here. Ricky?
Yeah, I'm good now.
Okay, perfect. So yes, I did want to tell you that I saved that nugget for you, buddy. Pokey Wilson making big plays at Jets training camp. So excited for you. And look at it, Pokey killing it.
Good. I you know what? I could use. I mean, I don't know if that's necessarily good news. That's interesting. But no, I was going to ask you what was the play that he made? Can you describe it to me?
Yeah. So It was a 7-on-7 opportunity. Pokey Wilson ran like a whip route, flash route. People call it different things. It's when you sort of cut inside and then you immediately sort of hit a pivot and then come back out. And Pokey juked out the Giants defender and then caught it and made a play, got a little scurried out, and then ended up going out of bounds. Again, they're not doing full-on tackling. So he did that play, which was really cool. And then he had a great in route as well. That was awesome. Where he came in about 10 to 15 yards and cut across the middle of the field, and then got this nice play in an open zone, and then he cut up the field from there, which was awesome.
Nice. I mean, I fully accepted that he's not going to end up making the 53, but I'd like to see him at least make a strong case to be a practice squad guy. So, maybe if something does happen later on down the road, he'll get his chance. And I'm having a really bad 24 hours right now. It's been one thing after the other. I wasn't going to hook up my good mic. I was going to just use my mic and my webcam, but it fell last night. It got knocked over.
Oh,
and so now apparently the mic and the webcam isn't working, which I use my good one most of the time anyway. But I didn't know until just now that was happening. I was mad just because it fell over. I didn't realize it had stopped working, the mic in it. But got called on my day off and yelled at by my boss. And then in the middle of the night last night, I get a message from StreamYard that my payment method was declined, and which I find out, which I never do this, but I stopped at a gas station the other day and I actually used my debit card, and within hours I got a fraud alert thing, which that's the main reason I don't do that.
Right.
And I'm not going to divulge how I choose my. Well, I don't even care. I can say how I choose my passwords.
Okay.
I'll take like a name like Osi Umanura, or like an odd name like that, a hard to spell name like that.
Sure.
Usually of a college player of a team that I do not follow, and then I'll spell it backwards. And that's what I use for passwords. There's no way in hell anybody is guessing any of my passwords. Like you give yourself an aneurysm trying to sit there and think of what it could be. But at any rate, yeah. So that really ticked me off, and now I got to go through that whole hassle of getting a new card and all that. And I told my wife, I was like, that, you know what that means? That means we have to update the Amazon payment, the StreamYard payment, the literally every damn thing that I pay for online has to be updated. So at any rate,
really?
We got our friends in church.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Oh yeah. Yeah. No, that's all right. Thank you so much. Oh, Dave's okay. Thank you. Wow. Okay. All right. Here you go. Sorry about that, Ricky.
No, you're all good. At any rate, the reason that I was calling in this morning is because the other day when you had DKB on and we were speaking, you were talking about me getting to meet Kevin Mawai and you got to meet John Idzik. Well, dude, now you got Quincy Williams, you got John Abraham, you got Tanner Engstrom. You got to meet a lot of really cool people. And I was seeing all your posts on Twitter, and I was real happy for you.
Thanks.
Because it, like we were talking about, sometimes that can just make your day when you get to meet somebody like that. That's awesome that you got to talk to Tanner. It sounds like a little bit in depth anyway. And you know what? I like the fact of how analytical he is and stuff. And it seems like Muji is a lot of the same way. I remember one time.
I'm glad you brought up Muji. We ran into Muji. Darren Muji was out there. So
that's awesome.
That was the general manager I was excited to see, for sure, on the list. There's no question about it. So that was cool. That was awesome. And I'll tell you this. Here's another big one, Ricky, and you can speak to this more than anybody. That as I move here to the business office, where that very fast business German talking man is no longer in here, so I can reset up in here to make it a little bit better. But when you meet your heroes or whatever you want to call them, Curtis Martins, Kevin Mawai's, Quincy Williams, Jermaine Johnson's, anybody, like we put them on such a pedestal, and whether it's fair to them or not, we put them on such a pedestal of like, oh my God, like this is amazing. And sometimes they don't live up to it, right? You meet a person and they're a jerk. Like I'll just tell this one. I'll leave the person who told me this unnamed. Like one of the popular videos we like playing here on the channel is Kevin James, right? Doing the you can start your
Yeah.
Jet fan. I heard Kevin James is a dick, and that he met, and he's a Jets fan, and we're all love him, and I watch a lot of his movies and stuff, and I'm a big Kevin James fan. But yeah, a Jet fan again. I'll leave this person unnamed, but they said they had an opportunity to sort of do an interview with Kevin James. They were doing like a movie tour, and you sort of hit up a lot of people, and this person met Kevin James at this thing, and after their interview, before it or something, like they sort of leaned in and said, "Hey, I'm a big Jets fan. It's awesome that we kind of share this thing." And apparently he was a real jerk, saying, "Hey, is this part of the interview?" And then they responded, "No." And he went like, "Okay, then don't talk to me." And I was like, "Oof, Jesus."
Wow.
Yeah, so apparently he is a real jerk, which again, that sucks because like when you hear things like that and then you enjoy their stuff, it's hard to enjoy the stuff when you hear stuff like that. So, but maybe it's just a bad day at the office. You never know how some people are or may be, but yeah, so I was sort of disappointed to hear.
You know what? I was about to say that, and through the years, I've met a lot of people in the music industry, and I've had a couple of people tell me like, "Oh yeah, I met the guitarist from that band, and the guy was a complete jerk and stuff." And like at the same time, like I met that same guy, and he was really cool and receptive to me. So, but then there are people that I've met that were assholes that everybody I've talked to that met him said the same thing. But you know what? Like these people, we do put them on pedestals, but at the end of the day, they're people. Like they could be having a bad day or going through something that we have no idea about, and that's not necessarily an excuse to act poorly with your fans, but just trying to be fair. Maybe dudes have a bad day or something. Like I said, I was having a really bad 24 hours last night, and finally at one point I looked at my wife and I was like, you know what? There ain't going to be no show tonight. I'm canceling it. I'm getting on StreamYard and I'm canceling it right now. I am just not in the right frame of mind, and this is not going to go well. So I did. I pulled the plug on it, and I hate having to do that, but like I was almost to the point where I was going to go, okay, you know what? Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and push on through it. And then the phone rings and it's my boss, and I got screamed at for like 20 minutes because I did because I tried to do something good. Not to get too much into my work thing, but the other day I noticed the guys from the day shift didn't put their samples away. So I picked them up and carried them over to the area for them. Well, once they were over there, somebody mixed them in with ours, and then my boss got accused of not doing his paperwork because those guys didn't. And when he calls me, he's making like the hour and a half drive into work on his day off to try to stick up for himself. And he was like, I know you were trying to do something good, but just if it's not ours, leave it. Let them get yelled at for it. You tried to do something good and it came back and bit both of us. And at that point I was like, okay, you know what? That's the last straw. Like, I'm done for the day. And,
plus, get yelled at. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So yeah, I get yelled at by him every day I'm at work. I don't need that on my days off for sure. But, at any rate, man, I'm really happy for you, getting to meet all those people. And you know what? One day you may be able to look back and say, you know what? The longest playoff drought in Jets history. And I went to camp and I got to meet the OC and the GM that turned that whole shit around and got us back on top again. So I certainly hope you're able to say that one day. I believe it. I believe in, me, I believe in AG. I believe in this regime. And dude, I think we're seeing it. And you know, even some of the most hesitant, to get on board with this, that, you know, people that were saying we were going to win 3 games, 4 games or something, a month ago, are all starting to kind of warm up and get on board now and be more optimistic. And hey, I'm not ready to crown anybody yet, but there's a right and a wrong way to do things. I think we're doing things the right way. I think we're doing everything we need to be a competitive team, and these guys have all obviously bought in, and I don't see any reason that we shouldn't all buy into.
Amen, brother. Amen.
All right, have a good day, Paul.
Okay, appreciate you, Ricky, joining us here on the program. Again, folks, I want to apologize again for the technical difficulties at the beginning of the program and some of the conversations. Yeah, so what happened there, the Ricky call, so I was getting up and my computer had just died. And the way I'm seeing all of you guys with doing a phone and a computer thing is all your comments are coming up on my computer, and I'm sort of playing producer behind the scenes while also hosting. And so the computer dies. I'm like, well, I can't take Ricky off the show or do anything like that for my phone. So I said, well, we got to move this thing. Hopefully the business office no longer has that German fast-talking businessman in here. But even if they do, I don't care because, we'll just figure it out. And anyway, as I was getting up, this Spanish woman, stops me and says, are you busy? And, we're in the middle of Boyd Green Daily. And I said no, but because I didn't know what she wanted. And she said she met the wife of some Jets player. But the thing she was talking about, unless she met the medical guy, David Cephalato is like their head athletic trainer. So unless that's who she was talking about, she said, what are the chances I saw you in full Jets gear? Now, I mean, I didn't tell the woman that what are the chances that a Jets fan is in Florham Park, because, that's where the Jets are. So I would imagine the chances are very high. But a very nice woman asking about something with the Jets. And I couldn't really get it because Ricky was talking to me too. And so I was sort of busy. So I guess I should have just said no. But, I'm a nice guy. I'm a nice guy. Anywho, I want to give a shout out to the 450 people that are in the room right now. Like the video, hit subscribe. Again, we're getting closer and closer to 8,000 subscribers, which is absolutely terrific, absolutely insane. I'm going to have more content to come. We've been uploading a couple of YouTube shorts, so you guys can check that out. Feel free to do so. I have some articles already out. Had a Mason Taylor article out earlier today. Had an article scheduled to come out 30 minutes ago in the middle of Boyd Green Daily. Apparently, Jay Tufele injured Jordan Love, and now Jordan Love had to get surgery because of Jay Tufele. Now, you never root for injuries, obviously, but I can't believe Jay Tufele hit Jordan Love so hard in one of those first 2 drives that he hurt him, that he needed surgery on his thumb. So, Jay Tufele dominating on the field and causing all kinds of ruckus. Which is unbelievable. Well, we'll have more content to come. We're supposed to be live in 30 minutes, actually, doing a NFL live show with Jim the Man-Child Lurch and Dalton Wasserman. I'll keep you guys posted on that if that's going to sort of come to fruition here. And we'll see with my technical situation if that's possible. If it is, I'll definitely let you guys know. But at a minimum, that will be coming up live in about 30 minutes. So I want to thank everybody for joining us here on the show. Thank you for powering through some of the technical difficulties here. And more to come, baby, here on the friggin' program. Thank you guys for the support. It's only possible because of you guys. So, anywho, thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll see you next time. Take friggin' care. Again, we'll be live right on this Boyd Green channel in about 30 minutes happening here. A lot of fun. And by the way, that is the funniest thing of all time, that Ricky New York's passwords. At first when he said, yeah, I'm going to tell you how I come up with my passwords, I'm like, hey, you probably shouldn't so you don't get hacked or anything. But then when he explained it, like random college football players or NFL players that are not affiliated with his teams and then spelling their names backwards as his password, good Lord, like O.C. Umenyiora, like Jesus, I don't even know how to spell O.C. Umenyiora if I spell it straight, let alone backwards. So God bless. God bless. All right. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and we'll see you in a little bit. Take care.